Hi guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. Another cold day on the prairie. It's actually -11, so we're spoiled now. But I'm actually going to make bread today. I'm going to try that recipe, like I said, from my Betty Crocker cookbook, the very first book I ever bought. And again, I've got started here. I've scalded my milk, which if you're not sure what that means, you get it to almost boiling. You don't boil it, and then you turn it off. And I thought my yeast was dead, but I'm guessing it's not. It wasn't doing that much until I threw some of the sugar in there. It didn't say to, but I put some of the sugar in there and the rest in with the flour. So I'm going to use the eggs, like I said, and substitute for some of the milk. And I've got pretty much everything here. I've got my flour weighed out. So I'm just going to go out. I need shortening. That's the other ingredient that's in this recipe. So I'm just going to run out and get that. But before I do, you know the drill. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and share this video with your family and friends. I think I'll pop out to the tiny house and check on Chris too. I can't remember what he said he was going out there to do. It might be hiding. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's go see what he's up to. And this crazy little dog is just going in and out and in and out. Of course, now she's realized it's colder, so she wants back in real quick. But I've also got a chicken carcass on the stove just to get some chicken broth from that. And I'm going to make this bread today. I'm going to make the egg bread today. I might try the cinnamon raisin tomorrow. Try that version of it. And Chris has got the wood stove going, so it'll be nice and warm to put the dough out there to rise. So, and I was right, this one does, you let it rise in the bowl and then you punch it down, roll it into loaves and let it rise again before you put it in the oven. So I'm going to do this one today and we'll see how it turns out. It's kind of a bright day, but it's snowing again, and you can hear the snow crunching, so it's cold. Let's see what the temperature of this oven is at. Oh, it's at 400 degrees. Well, that's good. Mind you, I have to let the bread rise for an hour, but it's nice and cozy out here. So I will bring the dough out here to rise. Chris has been out here caulking. I don't know if you can see that because everything's white. He's like a machine when it comes to caulking. But this is paintable caulking, so he wanted to do that before I put another coat of paint on there. So he's caulking this window too. Now everything's sealed up really good. Can't even see it. Well, the lighting's not very good in here either. The light in the bathroom's not. I keep teasing Chris that I didn't get the action shots, but he got that finishing piece done around the pipe, and then he was able to put that piece of trim on, which makes me happy because there's another big ugly crack filled in. So that one in the bathroom was the worst. So now it looks nice. So yeah, my yeast is bubbling up over here. That's all I did was run out to the tiny house for a minute, and this is what happened. So I got to get my shortening melted really quickly, and not sure if I should be doing this, but anyway, maybe I'll put it in a pot. Might be a little safer. Chris put that on a plate, so at least now I can scoop up the stuff that's spilling out. So I'm just going to, it says to mix all this stuff together first, so I'm going to put the yeast and the water in with the first batch of flour and the egg. I'm going to dump the scalded milk in as well. It'll be interesting to see how well this bread rises, because I was starting to worry that yeast was too old. Now I'm going to mix in the egg a little bit because I don't want the I don't want the milk to cook the egg if it's hot. If you can see what I'm doing. There we go. If that is on when you plug it in, it won't work. Which is interesting. Just a safety feature, I guess. Starting to melt now, so I need to add that in at this point too. And I think I've got all the ingredients in there. I'll just double check. Scrape this down already. I had the flour in the bottom, and if you've ever done that before, it'll stick more if you do it that way, so just double check on that. Okay, I got my shortening in there, scrape the bowl down, add the shortening, and then all I have to do is add in the rest of the flour and let it rise. These mixers with the dough mixer make life a lot easier for an old woman. Or anybody, but my arms certainly aren't as strong as they used to be. My elbows, wrists, you name it. Scrape this down again before. Make sure there's, yeah, see there's some dry stuff sticking down where the center of the bowl is. These bowls are all supposed to, you know, these mixers are supposed to get all that stuff off, but they don't. You always have to watch for that. Get this mixed really good before I start adding the rest of the flour in. Stuff down again. Gets all over the hook too. Alrighty. is 7 to 8 cups, so and I measured out 8. So I won't put it all in. I don't have to. We'll see how well this pulls away from the bowl. Now this is getting close, so I am going to put some olive oil in the bowl to coat it and get that ready to throw the dough into, and then all I have to do is put a tea towel on it, put it out in the tiny house to rise. It's actually quite warm in here today just because that pot's been simmering for quite some time. So you can see it's sort of starting to pull everything away from the bottom of the bowl too, so the dough's pretty much ready. And see, I can touch it and it doesn't stick on my fingers. That's pretty much ready. So I don't think I'm going to put the rest of that flour in. If I make it too heavy, then it won't rise as well. It'll be more dense and not as fluffy. I'm not going to add any more flour, so essentially what I'm doing is letting the machine do the kneading for me rather than me do it on the counter. Like I said, I got to the point where I did enjoy kneading dough, and I can remember kneading this great big pile of dough that was 10 loaves, 35 cups of flour plus all the other ingredients. So it was a huge bowl of dough that I used to knead and then divide up. So, but I'm going to let the mixer do it for me now. And like I said, this dough now I can touch it and it doesn't stick. So I'm just letting the machine knead it a bit, and then we'll put it in the bowl. And that's it. Let it rise for an hour. The recipes always say till the dough is smooth and elastic. You can see how smooth the dough looks now, and look at how much the bowl has been cleaned off from it mixing like this. So, like I said, you can see how, and it sort of bounces. It snaps back. So I think I'm going to take that out of there. I'm not sure if it was 8 or 10 minutes, but I'm going to take it out, put it in the bowl now. See, the dough just pulls away from the hook there too, so didn't take much to get it out in one blob. So now I will just put it in the bowl with the oil in it. Probably put a little too much oil in, but that's okay. Now you can see how nice this is, nice and big. So that's going to make 2 pretty big loaves of bread. Get this coated really well. You can see that. Get the sides. Oops, there you go. Sides coated. And now we'll let this rise for an hour with the tea towel on it. Oops. Now you can easily see how much of this bowl this dough takes up. So I really don't know how much it's going to rise either, but we'll see how much of the bowl it takes up after an hour. I'm just going to check. Oh, that's loaded up well enough. The oven is still almost 400. It has to be 425 for the bread. I didn't remember it being that high, but anyway. I'm going to leave it here to rise for an hour. It's nice and warm here right beside the wood stove. And come back in an hour and see how big that thing is. Okay, it's time to... Ooh, look at that dough. And you can see the bubbles in it too. Yeah, it says when you poke it and it doesn't bounce back, it's ready. So that's good, but I noticed the oven temperature has dropped to 350. I needed it at 425, so I'm gonna stoke this up, put some even more loaves on it. Maybe, I think I can maybe only fit one in there. Oops. I'll try and do this without burning myself. Okay, that's pushed all the way in. What What about the vents? Oh, I think I'm going to screw these vents in a bit. Get my trusty Lagunza oven mitt. It's barely what I'd call an oven mitts, but it's good for turning these things in. So I put it all the way in just so I can get a feel for it and then back it out like 2 rounds. This one is already almost in. So basically I've tightened that up. So we'll see if that changes the temperature. So I'm at 350 now. So now this, I have to punch it down, roll it out into loaves and put it in the pans to rise for another hour, I believe. So I basically got the dough divided into 2 balls. So I'm just going to roll that out, put them in the pans and put them out there to rise again. I weighed these as well, like I said, with most of my stuff now. I weigh it, so this dough's got enough oil on it too that I'm not even using flour. I can't wait till I have more counter space. This rolling pin is so big and it's so hard to roll anything out because I keep hitting the stove. Oops. That's the pieces that I kind of pulled apart. It's supposed to make a 9 by 13 inch square, basically, and this isn't working all that well. Because I just don't have room without hitting stuff. You're basically rolling it to get bubbles out, is what it is. Otherwise you get great big bubbles in your bread. So I'm just going to roll this up now. Pinch it off. And then I kind of, that one's a little bit bumpy looking, but just from where I was putting the pieces on there. Got it pinched off a bit better. Drop it in the pan. So you can see once you got to this stage, it's pretty quick to just roll it out. I guess it would be handy to have a smaller rolling pin just for stuff like this. But this is the only one I've got. And like I said in previous videos, I've got 24-inch cabinets here, whereas these are 15s. So it's going to give me a lot more space to do stuff like this when I'm rolling stuff out. That might actually be about 9 by 13. So maybe I'll just leave it at that. Don't have to be really fussy. So now I will take that out and put it back out by the stove so it can rise out there where it's nice and warm. Now you can sort of see how big these rolls are in the pan compared to what the ones were the other night. I can already see that this has risen. Oh my goodness. Isn't that awesome? Now, I used to have sometimes, like if this was fresh yeast, the bread would rise right out over the edge of the pans. It would get so big. But this is huge compared to the other ones. So, mind you, like I said, I divided that other stuff into 3 instead of 2. So that in itself makes a big difference. So, I forgot to show you, I put melted butter on this when I set it out here to rise. So now I'm going to put it in the oven. But we got to make sure that... Oh, it's at 400, so that's good. It says 425, but I don't think I'm gonna add any more wood to the fire. So I'm gonna put it in, see what happens. And oh my goodness, look at that. Now my temperature's dropped way too low. So I just put a couple more logs in. See if I can get it up because, well, that looks like it's almost done. Well, I'm not sure about the time. I didn't time it properly, but I took them out because it was starting to burn again on the top. I brushed them with butter. I don't like crusty bread, so I brush them with butter and that makes it a soft crust, which is what I like. So that's it for today, and I think we'll wait a little while and cut into this and see what it looks like inside after it cools a bit. Well guys, that's it for today. I'm tired out. I might try a slice of this bread before bed, but other than that, we're done for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends, and we'll see you next time.